Good morning. Well, really almost afternoon. I just want to quickly give an update on what's transpired over the past couple of days from the state of South Carolina versus Richard Alexander Murdaugh. And I do apologize for having no update for the past couple of nights, but my youngest son has been very sick this week. That's Nick. And yesterday we found out he's got the start of pneumonia. So I've been very busy with him trying to keep him comfortable and attend to his needs. So I just want to take a minute to tell y'all what has transpired over the past 24, 18 maybe hours. So anyway, last night, after deliberating for only like roughly 3 hours, the jury came back with the verdict of guilty on all charges. Now I'm just gonna tell y'all that as I was watching the verdict being read, it felt like my heart and everything around me just literally stopped because y'all have been invested in this trial from the beginning, like since the boat crash, since all this started. I have been involved with everything going on with the Murdaughs. And I believe most of y'all that is listening have probably been involved in it too. I had this great fear though that if Casey Anthony could be found not guilty with so much overwhelming evidence against her that I was just scared that it was possible that Alex Murdaugh could also be found guilty. Now, I try not to pass judgment on my fellow human beings, but in my opinion, this one was just all very obvious. None of what he said added up to anything that could convince me that he wasn't guilty in this. And it's fine. I am perfectly fine with you having a different opinion. But anyway, to me, it felt like his defense was struggling, like they were grasping at straws throughout the entire trial. Again, that's just my opinion, but let's move on to what happened today. So this morning, the court reconvened for the last time in this case for the sentencing. After the judge was seated, he asked the prosecution if they had any victims that wanted to speak. Because, a lot of times in these sentencing phases, we do see, victims making their victim impact statement. But the prosecution informed the court that no one wanted to talk to the court before the sentencing. Then the prosecution did speak a little, though. And one thing that stood out to me was that Creighton Waters mentioned something that I had been thinking all along. Waters talked about how Alex Murdaugh kind of glared at him as he passed by him in court as he was walking to the witness stand. And he was basically saying that you could just see the evil in his expression. And I've mentioned several times to various people that I know, we've been talking about the trial and about the Murdaugh family and whatnot, but I don't know. It's just there's something about his eyes that you can just see evil. Like it's the darkness shining through. And every time that I've seen pictures of him since all this started, I have thought this. It's just something about his eyes. Well, moving on. When the judge asked the defense if they had anything they wanted to say, they replied that they didn't, but that Alex Murdaugh did. And he addressed the court by saying that he was innocent and that he didn't kill Paw Paw or Maggie. Again, he was using Paw Paw when referring to his son, Paul Murdaugh. Well, after that, Alex Murdaugh was brought before the judge's bench for sentencing. Now, I was actually surprised that Alex Murdaugh's son, Buster, or his brother John Marvin didn't want to address the court. You see a lot of times the family of the defendant, pleading for like a lesser sentence for their loved one, but this didn't happen this time. Now, before reading the sentences, Judge Newman, he talked about how the Murdaugh family had been a well-respected family in the judicial system in that area for over a century. And I believe what he was getting at by saying that was that they had worked hard to build what they had, and it only took a few years to destroy that. And Newman also said that he knows that as he's falling asleep at night, he has to see Paul and Maggie. Like, maybe they come visit him either in spirit or in his dreams, which is also, I believe, in spirit. And Alex said that, yeah, he does see them. Um, he also got him to repeat what he had said on the stand about, oh, what a tangled web we weave, when once, it just totally left my mind how that saying goes, but you know what I'm talking about. God, I feel dumb. Probably the cold medicine, but but anyway, he talked a little bit more about how brutal the murders were, and he even spoke a little bit about the the financial crimes that Alex Murdaugh is facing. But after he talked about all that, Judge Newman sentenced Richard Alexander Murdaugh to 2 life sentences to be served consecutively, which means they don't run together. They run one, he serves one and then the other. So basically, he's saying no parole. And of course, this was for the murders of Maggie and Paul Murdaugh. Now, throughout the trial, Alex Murdaugh was seen wearing a sports coat, a dress shirt, and slacks. But the day when he was brought in for sentencing, he was wearing a khaki prison suit, or the jumpsuit. And I don't know. I wonder if he thought all along that he would never get out of that, or even though he proclaimed he was innocent, I just wonder what his thoughts are, because honestly, there's no emotion on his face. I was noticing that, when they sentenced, or they read the verdict last night, his face was pretty blank. Now, he did nod his head a couple of times. I don't know if that was saying, yeah, y'all got me, or what, but otherwise, I feel like he just had that blank expression, and he was very hard to read. I feel like if it was me that just got found guilty of 2 murders and then sentenced to life, or really 2 life sentences, I probably would be crying, or maybe I would have even passed out or something. But you can't really say what you would do in that situation until you're in it. Now, I'm anxious to hear if there's going to be appeals. I'm sure that there will be, because I don't believe that he's going to go down without a fight. But yeah, that's basically it. Really all I've got for y'all right now. Now, I'm going to be putting together one more episode on the murder trial for the near future. And it's going to be more of me expressing my thoughts and feelings about everything that has happened over the past 6 weeks. And I may even have a few others on the episode giving their thoughts too. Now, that's really all I've got for today. Y'all have an awesome Friday, and we'll move on to something else. We can feel free to breathe now. Y'all have a good one.